We woke up early in Húsavík and did a quick self-guided tour of filming locations from the Fire Saga movie before heading back towards Mývatn. And although we didn't have much time there, we really enjoyed exploring Húsavík and can't wait to go back in the future. We're Karin and Jeremy, an average couple with average jobs and limited vacation time. When we take trips, we have 1 or 2 weeks, 3 if we're lucky, and we want to see and do as much as possible when we travel. Join us as we maximize our vacation time on Mapping It. Check out this insane view of Mývatn. Mývatn has some great geology to explore. In addition to pseudocraters, there's a massive volcanic crater you can hike up, and a large lava field to walk through too. Our first stop in Mývatn happened to be another filming location, and if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'll recognize this one. This is the cave that Jon Snow and Ygritte swam in. This used to be a popular swimming spot with the locals, until the geothermal activity underground changed the temperature of the water, making it boiling hot and dangerous to swim in. But don't worry, no actors were harmed in the filming of this scene, they used a pool instead. The cave may not be good for swimming, but it's still beautiful to look at, just don't fall in. Mývatn sits along a gap between the Eurasian and North American tectonic plates, and as a result, the area has tons of geothermal activity. Our next stop was Hverir to see some of this action up close. The landscape here is incredible. It really feels like you're on a different planet. We saw boiling mud pits and steam vents, and the ground here is thin, so staying on the path is very important. It may look like solid ground, but if you step in the wrong spot, you could break through the crust and wind up with your foot in boiling mud. We're here in Hverir near Mývatn. It's an area of high geothermal activity, and I really wish you guys could smell it right now. It is so hard to breathe. It's the most intense rotten egg smell. After we had our fill of sulfuric rotten egg smelling adventures through the geothermal area, we got back on the road heading for Dettifoss. It's about a 45-minute detour off the ring road to get to Dettifoss, but it's well worth the trip. The road is not paved, but it's well maintained. It's very bumpy, and going fast actually makes the drive easier, but it does feel like you're driving on a washboard, so it's still uncomfortable. Dettifoss is 340 feet wide and 150 feet high, and it sends more than 130,000 gallons of water over the edge every minute.
We made it to Dettifoss,
Iceland's most powerful waterfall. It's incredible.
We hiked from Dettifoss to Selfoss.
Yeah, it was not exactly a fun hike. Selfoss is a short 30-minute hike upstream from Dettifoss. You're climbing over rocks and walking along uneven ground, so it's not the easiest hike, but it's not that bad, and it's absolutely worth it in the end. Selfoss was a lot less crowded than Dettifoss, and after enjoying the peace and quiet of the waterfall, we hiked back to our car. We drove 5 minutes down the road to another impressive waterfall before heading to Seyðisfjörður for the night. There's not a whole lot to see between Dettifoss and Seyðisfjörður, not even any trees, so settle in for a long ride. Now's a good time to listen to an audiobook or podcast. We made one stop along the way to Seyðisfjörður to stretch our legs and see another waterfall. It was nice to get out of the car, but after Dettifoss and Selfoss, this one wasn't nearly as impressive. Seyðisfjörður is a very small town in East Iceland situated at the innermost point of a 10-mile-long fjord. There's not much to do here, but there's a lot of street art to enjoy courtesy of the local art academy. Iceland is full of filming locations for various movies and TV shows, and Seyðisfjörður is no exception. I was very excited to see some of the filming locations for the movie The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. We wrapped up the night with dinner at a local pub, a great way to end a long day of driving around the ring road